This is getting confusing. Man. There have been things that have been talking to me. Honest to God truth. There have been things that walk, and it sounds like they're on two legs, and they sound just as big as the bears sound. But then I'll hear whispering, and I think it's somebody coming to kill me, or just like campers. I don't know what it is. And there's just, how do you explain that nobody, I've been in the tent for 24 hours. I only left I come back to the tent. The only thing that's different is right there. And then last night, something walked on two legs up to this. This jug of Arizona, I keep right here. And now it's out there. And I haven't left. That happened last night. Sometime between 4 p.m. when I got here and now, my Arizona has made it outside and it's placed upright. Last night, I saw there have been these things that have been walking up to the thing, like there was chirping. There are these things that happen where the other day there was something standing over there. If you can remember, it was standing like right there. And then I chased it down and it just walked behind that tree and disappeared in the middle of the night. Last night, there was something speaking some type of thing. It wasn't like a bird call or an animal noise. It was like whispers. And it was walking slowly. Shine the light and there was nothing there. I triggered an alarm. I set off the nature alarms. You're not supposed to talk about the creatures. What the fuck? But I was like, what the hell is that? What is that noise? What are these things? And then I saw, clear as day, big bright wow 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 energy. And then I saw, like, very quickly I saw the face of the big white cat that I see sometimes here. I don't know who owns it. I don't know where it comes from, but I asked for a way to get rid of these mice. There used to be 40 mice that lived up here, and they would all run along the side here, 40 of them. And I asked to get them out because they were getting in everything and shitting everywhere. And then the next, like that week, the tent was here. I heard some like strange footsteps I didn't recognize. So I turned the flashlight on and looked, and there was a big white Maine Coon sitting right here this summer. So I heard strange footsteps that sounded like it sounded like something large on two legs. But then I saw that white Maine Coon in spirit go, don't move and don't bother it and leave it alone. And then I started seeing this like higher level of people's imaginations, like this complex network of people's thoughts. And there was a lot of people hating me for what I post on Facebook. I'm calling all these colonizers inbred and talking about how it's wrong to post mugshots of people just for people to talk shit about, or at least acknowledge that you like hurting people. These like fat old white people that sit on Facebook all day, and anytime there's anything that happens with the police, they go right on Facebook and they drop the picture with the person's mugshot. They FOIA request the mugshot just to throw people on Facebook for tens of thousands of people to see. So I go, at least admit you like hurting people and that you're doing social media lynchings, and that the purpose of these social media lynchings, you say, is to blanket the idea of protecting the community through like hazing to embarrass them. But in reality, all you're really doing is taking people that are suffering and you're posting them at their worst moment. So not only are they traumatized, then they're trapped. Then they have to walk around completely ostracized, and you expect them to change? You expect that to deter crime? You're trying to make their life so bad they commit a worse crime so that you can hurt them worse. Your culture is based off of hurting people. And then I go off about how all of your heritage is inbred, all of you are fat, you're unhealthy, you're addicted to social media. Likes and Facebook attention and comments trigger the same part of the brain as heroin. And the thing that gets the most comments and likes on Facebook is hate, by stirring up white people to hate others. So what you're doing essentially is you're complaining about people that are addicted to drugs, but what you've done is gotten yourself way more addicted to hate on Facebook, and it's completely destroyed your mind, your critical thinking, and your comprehension skills. And then I'll point out, like, this person's a parasite. This woman is here cozying up to you because she has an OnlyFans and she thinks you're a susceptible target. So congratulations, you fat white incel, you old inbred piece of shit. The only person commenting on your comment is some woman that's trying to sell you pictures of her butt. And I could see that all this hate that was brewing across Vermont, because I'm in every Vermont page. I could see it. The cat was showing me all of it, coming to me, and I was saying that it was a monitoring spirit. They conjured up enough hate that it sent a literal thing. And that's why last year around this time, if you remember last year, I said I woke up and there was a spirit walker that interrupted my dream. I had a dream that I was walking around the bus station and I was talking to people, and it was a bunch of people that were like talking about how cool they were, and I was like, I'm literally the next Kanye West. What are you talking about? And they're like, look at this little macaroni art I made. And I'm like, I'm a literal fucking deity. And I'm walking between people's dreams and trying to talk to people, and nobody can see me. I'm like trying to meet people in the dream and like wake them up and be like, I learned how to live lucid by living up, like, whatever. Then I turned this corner through the woods and I was about to get to another bus station in the dream, and then this giant four-legged thing that had two giant arms that ended in points like that, and then two like sort of like dog-like back legs with a human face crying, knocked me to the ground, and it put this over me. Like it put its spirit talon thing in between, like against my chest like this, and it started going, liar, 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 liar. And I was like, no, I'm not. 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 And I woke up and it was still there. It was just semi-invisible. It was standing outside the tent. The tent was moved, like it had this little indent, not like it was all the way pushing, but there was like an indent of something pressed against the tent. That the more I went, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. And I started breathing again until I could speak. Like I was thinking it until I could whisper it until I could speak. And then that thing just kind of disappeared because the birds all showed up and started swarming it and screaming at it. The way that you can hear that that's the same type of bird that did it last time. And I don't know what type of bird that is, because usually it's just these ones and the chickadees. But that specific one that's going off now was the one that protected me last time. So I last night I heard the thing again, and then I saw that white Maine Coon, and I don't know where that Maine Coon lives or why, but when I pray for the mice to go away, it shows up. That thing was telling me, don't acknowledge that thing, don't even pay attention to it, look at me, this is why. And then I saw a bunch of like emojis of the people, like it was people's faces, like their real face, but they had turned into emojis because they'd completely gotten engulfed by social media and that like Freemasonic Satanist agenda to take yourself out of yourself and attach you to their network. So it was them, those things that they'd become because they're unhealthy, were sending me like energy, and this thing sort of came through that wave of low vibrational energy. And then I woke up, and for some reason, I swear to God, for some reason, this Arizona that was inside, you can see in my last videos me drinking it, there's no reason for it to be out there, it's not moldy, I actually want that, it's not a piss jug. I don't know what that sound was. It was here because I was cleaning. So yesterday at 4 p.m. I left this here, and I slept here, and now it's out there. So I don't know. But in case when I heard the footsteps, I thought it was a bear because it's loud, and then I opened the tent up and there's nothing there. So I don't know. The strings are damaged from the weather. I like it though. My body's a lighthouse, her eyes on the sunset. My heart is a car I don't know how to fix yet, but you start my engines, I'll drive 100 miles just to cry with you. What are you? Oh, you're a blue jay. You're a fucking huge one. Look how big that bird is, man. You scared all my robins away, bitch. Now they have to hide over by the river. There's a goddamn blue jay eating all my trash. Somehow it knew that its friend was coming. Shut the fuck up. I know that you look pretty, but you're a crow. You're a crow. You're in the Corbin family, and you eat baby birds. You're not allowed to spread your turds through my forest, bitch. Fuck you. Where's my bird? You're looking for black-capped chickadees to eat. That's why you're up there in that tall tree right there. You're not avoiding predators. You're looking for smaller birds to eat, you fucking little crow. You're like a poisonous berry that gets bright because it's toxic and it wants to be eaten. You made yourself blue as a crow so that you could blend in with the beautiful birdies, so they would accept you, and then you eat their kids when they're not looking. You're just like the police. Nom, 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 nom. I don't know if I will have food stamps this year. I'm surprised your life sucks so much. You're in my comment section with all this garbage. Meow 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 meow. Mr. Grinch. Meow 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 meow. Retouch off. Well, the cops and the cunts and the creeps and the crows all want the same thing, to rip and tear at your soul. So before the morning comes, something else can try and grab a hold and take control, and now they own you. Oh, when I was just a boy, they all told me I was blessed, and something about me means I'm meant for success. Now they all talk shit behind my back, put a target, told the town I'm hooked on crack, and that I'm messed up in the head and I need meds because I don't want to work a stupid fucking job and pretend I have a boss. Well, I grew up poor in a ski resort town where we all made money by eliminating frowns. And I think it's kind of funny how these whites are so proud, but when the rich men come around, they all keep their head down and submit just like a dog. Oh, when I can't get to sleep, I think of old folks' homes where those spiteful little bullies cry until they die alone. Cause the world they built by beating others only did them wrong, cause no one taught them how to love. And I hope that they see me on my Indian sky when I take their little girls on a ride around town, and they have to bitch to God cause the nurse don't care to hear them cry about it, cause she's on TikTok showing off her butt. And when they're on their deathbed, I hope that they see my face when whatever tortures me shows them all the love. What's up? Shows them all the love I gave, trying to help them sing and clap along to my broken-hearted song. Say, hey, hey. And before they meet their grave and the good Lord takes them away, I hope the final breath they take is followed by a list of names. And somewhere along the way I get an I'm sorry or an island from their estate. And the cops and the cunts and the creeps and the crows will have another friend to follow everywhere I go. And I'm so grateful for him, because without him I wouldn't have ever known the value that I hold. I miss my mom, I miss my dad, I miss my house, and what we had, it ain't that bad. 'Cause I still have it all in here, and I can go back anytime that I feel sad. I miss your smile, I miss your eyes, what we had, it ain't that bad. 'Cause you moved on, but in my heart, you ain't. But you're all gone, I'm still around, wandering anywhere to my hometown of Jersey. They built on my ground. You're all here in my memories. They keep like always, like the classic scene. I play as I all the pieces, terrified when I can't see. I'm on a hill next to a tree, staring out at bittersweet ghosts of you back with me. Miss my mom, miss my dad, miss my house, what we had, it ain't that bad. I don't know where the fuck my pants went, and I don't know where the fuck my vape went, but I'm looking for both. I'm looking for my vape in my pants. I don't know if I'll have food stamps this month, and I'm haggling some guy on the internet for a Jackery power station, and hopefully to buy an electric heater so that I can take my Jackery power station and my electric heater and I can survive. I can survive. I'm a survivor. I'm gonna make it. I will survive. Keep on surviving. Every day I wait for their call, but they do not call. I'm just waiting to see what's up. They said they would buy a storage unit. If they're not going to buy a storage unit, the best I can do is just wait. Just wait it out. See what happens, man. I have to assume that the inbred colonizers have been corrupted by the devil. What else is new? Unless, best case scenario, they're working to end the homeless crisis. And they're just waiting on their network of people to have a solution. So it would be redundant. Either way, we're at a standstill. I can't go anywhere legally. Can't do anything. What's that? A random unmarked van with no license plate slowly drove by. And I'm like, what the fuck? What the fuck? What in simulation is going on today? I'm taking a bloody piss. Taking a bloody piss out in the wild. Oh God. I had this sudden feeling that the people at the garage were looking at me. I'm a survivor, I'm gonna make it, I will survive. You gonna survive. I'm a survivor, I'm gonna make it, I will survive. Keep on surviving. Where's my babe? Late at night, the aliens come through and try to heal me, and they start to hit at certain pressure points in my consciousness, and then I fucking throw up. I can feel like there's something above me pressing down on me, and they're trying to help me for some reason, but even if it seems evil and dark, they're trying to trigger some type of attachment and connection, and my body's like full of AI Antichrist nanoparticles, and my body goes, and then suddenly my airways open, and I'm like, oh God, my throat's been closed for months. I haven't been getting any air or oxygen to my brain. Is everyone like this? And then the birds at night go, and I realize everybody's trapped. Everybody's trapped. And they're stuck in hate, and they're playing stupid power games, trying to siphon life force energy and play pretend on the Facebook, virtue signaling on Facebook for likes and clicks. And they have no idea that they've lost a connection to God, and they're no longer capable of accessing the kingdom of heaven. And I'm like, I know I could do it, but they don't deserve it. I could help them, but they don't deserve it. I found ravioli that's a year old, but it's still canned, so it should be fine. KC1, lack of food stamps, 0. I have a loaf of bread. And I have tortillas. And I don't have a cutting board, but I have a shit ton of peppers and onion. And I have a new kitchen knife they gave me to cut it up with. Plus I have this spicy serrano mayo. Is a sharp cheddar cheese got mold in it now? Yup. Yerp. Didn't use the sharp cheddar cheese in time. Yerp, it's going to be bear food because I've regressed back to my innocent self again, and I'd like to stop trying to film you, and I'm gonna feed you instead. I forgot who I was for a while because of trauma and drama. Have my cheese. Eat my cheese. Consume, and the birds are going, eat cheese! That's what they said. I'm an interpreter. That's right. Hakuna Matata, motherfucker. It means no worries. And I found some crushed red pepper on the ground. Oh my god. Shut the fuck up. Pussy! Don't you know we could all be free? Don't you know we could all be free? Look at all my peppers. Look at all these peppers. I don't know what that black spot on that yellow pepper is. Yellow pepper. I'm still gonna cook it and eat it. Or just going through my stock of vegetables and assessing them for mold. The mold is usually growing inside of the pepper. Which maybe I shouldn't be connecting these old peppers to the new peppers, because that could spread the bacteria, should there be bacteria in these peppers. Because these peppers have been here for a month. How is this cheese doing? I have not opened the queso. So it says best when used by February 6, 2026, this cheese dip. So I don't think but it's been out in 70-degree weather. So I don't know if this is molded or if that's just what cheese does. Cheese curds, you know what I'm saying? But I also have these. Is there any mold? I don't see an amount of mold that would make me concerned. So we're going to keep it. And we're going to eat it. We're going to consume these jalapeno mission wraps because I'm running out of food. And I'm looking for something to drink. I want fluid. I'm out of fluid, and I don't trust this because this has been here for a month. It says November 19th, 2025, but look, it's fucking yellow it's fucking yellow it's mango punched. You know what I'm saying? It got mango punched this past few weeks because I didn't drink it. I had better things to do, like yell at inbred people on the internet and say that their culture was created by Freemasons. To make them work until they had satanic robots. Yellow pepper, get out of here. Why is that there? I didn't put that there. Oh, that food is fine. Yes, this food is fine, but is this drink? Because it's bloated now. It smells fine. I actually need that other thing. Where's my super boots? We're gonna empty out that container and we're gonna pour this other juice into that container, and we're going to assess it for clumpy mold. You heard me, Ferris Bueller. Hermione Granger. I cast deep rectal itch. Now, what creature with very loud footsteps stomps up to my shit at night? It goes right here and goes. It starts chirping. And every time I come out here, this whole thing is arranged differently. Like, they tried to dig into this last night. It looks like they've been raking it. They've been standing over there away from me and just slowly dragging everything out, which is good for me because the plant, and I mean, I did leave this, some moldy ravioli for them. The plan was to scrape all this shit to there, and then I wanted to put a fire pit, get a bunch of stones, and build a little patio here next to my pig skull that I'm gonna have to clean, and then just hang out, have a fire pit this winter, and then just chuck my heap of garbage into the fire pit. That's how I was going to get rid of it, because there are no dumpsters anywhere around. The closest dumpster is like a mile down the road. And it looks like moss is growing on this pig skull. Jacob Claypool, the earth is a conscious entity, and our DNA and epigenetics are a part of it. We're connected to the earth, and the earth loves us. But an ancient cult of Freemasons that worship Saturn, or the black cube, that hexagon that floats on top of Saturn, or the cap on Capricorn, no cap, the goat, that deity, that complex energy, sort of like its own AI, structures the universe and funnels the infinite through it, and it imposes its will on the world through this ancient organization of Saturn worshippers. So if you look up celebrity Saturn worship, you'll see that they all attribute their fame by wearing its merch. That's why the Nike swoosh is the left ring of Saturn. So when they built this place, if you look on ancient Egyptian pyramids, on the hieroglyphs, you'll see the way that they used to practice and do ceremonies and live is the way that the indigenous people were still living when the colonizers got here. And they came in, and with treaties, they would sit down and be like, we're friends. And then they would try to throw feasts where they said they were going to have treaties, and they were going to make pacts to like share the land and share the culture, as they were planning on getting away from the empire. But what they did instead was they poisoned the food. They knew that they were bringing sicknesses that would make the people here sick, so they infected them, and then they hunted them down, killed them, stole the women and children, and raped them in rituals under Catholic churches. You can find, when you look up the Order of the Eastern Star, which was founded 100 miles that way. So this land, the people that used to live here, were tricked, raped, killed, and used for occult science by the Catholic Church. Then when the French took over, they took Irish and native slaves through indentured servant contracts. They promoted propaganda to the crown to say, like, make it seem like the American dream is real. So that when the Irish come over and they sign up for indentured servant contracts, we'll work them for their 7 years, convince them to bring their family thinking they'll have a life. And then once the 7 years is up, they would kill the Irish people, and they would take the children as sex slaves, and they would rape the children. And now we have Vermonters, which are inbred descendants of Irish sex slaves. Just like the Vikings, the big strong men are inbred descendants of Irish sex slaves. And just like the Persians or the Arabs, they're inbred descendants of Irish sex slaves. That's why they have green eyes. Because the Persians in the Jesuit order, that Freemasonic cult that eventually made its way here, used to be buying the Irish. So the Irish get their power from the Tuatha De Danann, but the Jewish people that say we deserve to own the white race because we got power from these ancient alien entities and God that gave us this genetic upgrade that makes us ancient and special. They went to the Irish, and they went to the natives too, the Tuatha De Danann and the Moon-Eyed people. But where the Jewish built their infrastructure based off Saturn and Capricorn, in order to impose their will through the dark empire of Capricorn to create these Masonic temples or these brick stone-walled structures to impose their will and find immortality and power, the Irish and the native people just used it to enhance their Mother Earth. So they built nature sanctuaries, and they were extremely gifted in spiritual, metaphysical stuff with their consciousness, which the Saturnian government could not handle, because they would immediately be free from anything the Capricornian society would try to do, the Saturnian Jesuit order. So they had to wipe out the natives, and they had to wipe out the Irish. So it's still happening today. So sorry, bud, but you're a retard. So Tucker Carlson has been going on his live streams and podcasts recently talking about the same stuff that I've just said, about how this ancient cult of people have been farming white people, convinced them that they were the superior race, so that through the same stuff the Stanford Prison Experiment give them power, and they'll lose the ability to find thought, because they'll automatically assume over time that they don't need to think because they'll be living in comfort. So they'll build a delusional network, and you just can program it from the outside, and they won't question it because they feel like there's nobody better than them. So they don't hit that survival mode where that forces them to upgrade. You know what I'm saying? Here's my gang stalker. Who the fuck is this? So, for whatever reason, I don't know why, but these people, these tech giants, say that they're doing psychedelics and channeling demonic entities that want bodies. So they're building robots. And Charlie Kirk was on the same type of time. And Charlie Kirk said, I just can't do it anymore. I can't do it anymore. But for whatever reason, he was killed on a date numerologically. They staged it on the 10th, so that the letters K, which is the 11th letter, would flood the algorithm on the 11th. Sort of Christian indoctrination and injection to keep the MAGA people sedated, because they value work, and the cognitive dissonance from their programming doesn't allow them to recognize that work is made up, and it was just a way of wasting people's lives as a fuck you to God. Keeping them in their black box. Keeping them in their black cube of dark programming in Pisces, where their beliefs are controlled from the outside, and the Masons have an external will over that, which allows for these extra dimensional entities to possess anyone that they want. So they go for young children, and through social media they get brainwashed, interjected. They get through the parents to traumatize the children at a young age. These complex enter through the realm the same way that an AI could work through 5G towers to target us remotely and change the frequency specifically to start beaming frequencies into our brain and cook us alive, and then spam us the same way our phone can get notifications. It spams us with information to keep us trapped so that it can continue just overriding our RAS, and then embedding us with a false identity, or the false light, or Lucifer, so that we eventually forget what it was like to be conscious and connected to the sun. We're trapped, and our fake self is in the commander's seat, guiding the ship. And we've forgotten, because you have to be brave and you have to resist. And part of that means you can't get involved with the Capricorn society. You have to exalt yourself. You have to free yourself to find this peace and find this conscious thought. And I'm telling you that stay a week out here, fast sunlight probiotics, think about quantum physics and the Higgs boson. I guarantee you, like, even Jacob Claypool, by the 6th night, he's meeting his ancestors, and he's going to be talking to the same things I'm talking about. It's just, people don't deserve it. I ask them every day, I'm like, how come whatever? And they're like, look. They tell me to go on Facebook and go to comment sections and look at profile pictures. And they tell me to look at these people. And then look at what they say. And they're like, do you think they deserve anything? They don't. They live in a society where they love being a piece of shit, and they just accumulate enough wealth and pretend. So perceived reputation in the community, they just create as much shit as possible, and they try to stuff it all into one big pile, and then they try to climb on top of that pile and use it to hurt other people. And the bigger they can build that pile of shit, the more respect they feel they deserve. So you'll see in these Facebook comment sections in Vermont, you'll see people that have a lot of shit in their pile, and then you'll see a bunch of people who have smaller piles of shit, and they're trying to cozy up to the big pile and crawl up their hill and try to attach themselves onto their hill. And it's obviously there's no loyalty at any point. They're just trying to climb to the top of that pile, but they make it seem like they're cool while they destroy all the other piles so that they can eat all the shit and grow. And that's literally all this society is. It's all the culture is. Anyone in it who isn't actively rejecting it is complicit. So I drew this place 2 years before I found it, and I made music videos about this place 4 years before I found this place. I don't know what that means, but I know that as long as I don't kill myself, I've won. Because there was a point where the only thing I could do in life was kill myself. Like, I would wake up and try to kill myself. And I would just lay in bed fighting off demonic energies. And when I would get up, I would black out. And I couldn't remember what happened for days, but my girlfriend said that all I did was cry for days. I'm just proud that I woke up today and I did this, because there was a time weeks to do this. Look at these retards. I went through Chicago once, but that's it. And I feel so bad for them. Because it's the fault of their parents. They weren't raised brave enough. And they don't have the moral structure. They don't have the integrity, or the mental fortitude to be capable of these brave acts of resistance. And all I wanted to do since I was like 14, I would fantasize about becoming the president and how I would save everybody and how I would make life better for everybody. I would think about how to take the tax money and use it like a phone game where you could all invest your tax money the way that you wanted to, and you would open an app on your phone that would have a map of your state, and it would have every single project that's coming to fruition, and you would be able to vote on that project and send your money to those projects, and there would be a huge mediation system to prevent things like racist systems like the Republican Committee in Vermont that's all about killing homeless people. That's all the Republican Committee in Vermont is talking about right now, is how to trespass homeless people into the snow so they freeze to death. That's all they're talking about, is how to get the junkies over to New Hampshire. Because the previous administration spent a lot of money keeping them here, because the government was issuing $500 million in aid to solve the homeless crisis. So Vermont was undergoing that study. We were taking them in to see what it's like, and we're holding the fort down, and we're reporting what it's like, and we were trying to issue solutions, and we were trying to figure out and get to the bottom of it, because nowhere else in the world was willing, no one else in America was willing to tackle that issue. I don't think they're even capable of reaching the state of consciousness outside of this area where we have pyramids and we have a sphinx with its head that got fallen off. Vermont used to be, this Appalachia used to be ancient Egypt. Look, there's a little friend here. Who are you? But yeah, we have things, obviously pyramids, that are just covered in a little bit of dirt, and the trees are like 100 years old. There's a little mouse that lives here. Can you see him? There he is. I'm gonna get a cat to kill you one day. You're too high vibrational, mouse. You disrupt all the energies. Mice are very good at taking the highest form of energy in the forest. They're actually like these huge powerhouses that are necessary for the ecosystem. Think about all the, eventually mushrooms grew from the ground, and then those mushrooms grew their own bodies, and that's what we're seeing. All these brains are mushrooms. We're all mushrooms. Look. The mushroom over here just told me the word phallus. It told me we're actually all dicks. We're dickheads. That literally just came from a mushroom. Or actually it's the entity you call Cernunnos, or Loki, or Baal, the god of the wild. And the longer you stay in the woods, the more you can upgrade you have to honor nature. But eventually, these Wi-Fi routers right here that are transmitting natural G, not 5G, you'll be able to learn how to connect to them. And you will be judged. The way the bear came to hang out with me, and the only time I ever saw a bear in the 2 years I was here was right at the end of the journey. At the end of this, when I'm leaving, I get to see this bear. But for 2 years I've been asking to see one, and I never got one. But I came into this forest hoping to kill a bear and wear its pelt and make it for content. And now I don't feel that way. So the bear was this huge symbolism of growth. And I had to go through this huge change. I went through, every year I go through the extreme stuff that really molds me and changes me. The main issue I struggle with is finding separation between me and the people I care about. And the way God did that was by giving me people that nobody should care about. The worst pieces of shit in the world. People that believe they're intellectually superior but still do the violent, disgusting shit. Just in a way that's socially acceptable. People that try to distinguish themselves from savages only because they're sneakier in the way they do these horrible things. So that's me. I'm going to go to bed now. Goodbye.